This was the space shuttle being blown up over Texas in the year 2003 when they went and invaded Iraq on false charges, Saddam Hussein, and lied. It was also, I believe, the time when a man from Israel had gone up on the brink of the earth with the peoples in the space shuttle, and that man was also on board of that space shuttle. I'm pretty sure of that. And when he came back after they had made war with Iraq and returned back, they had made war using that space shuttle. That's the reason God blew it up. Verse 8, Ezekiel 10:8. And there appeared in the cherubim the form of a man's hand under their wings. And when I looked, behold, the four wheels by the cherubim, one wheel by one cherub, and another wheel by another cherub, and the appearance of the wheels was as the color of beryl is aluminum. And as for their appearance, they four had one likeness, as if a wheel had been in the midst of a wheel, a tie in a ring. When they went upon their four sides. They turned not when they went, but to the place where the head, at first said spirit, the head, then you know this man looked, they followed it. They turned not as they went. And their whole body, and their back, and their hands, and their wings, and their wheels, he said the wheels this time, were full of eyes round about, even the wheels. He said again, even the wheels, they four had eyes. He telling you, the only way you're going to see eyes on a wheel, which is the light when this thing getting ready to land, the wheels got to be let down. If it was let down, it tells you in 2003, when that God blew the space shuttle up, it was had to drop down far beyond below the danger zone where the electromagnetic field take its effect. God had noticed the wheels in Ezekiel chapter 1. Everywhere he went, he took the wheels, and it couldn't function. The life of the space shuttle depended upon the wheel. So what God did to let the United States of America to know that God still is a God and Jesus still lives, he told Jesus to go between the wheels. Once he dropped down below the electromagnetic field and was gliding over Texas, Jesus went and blew up the space shuttle, just like God told him. Let me read a little bit further, and it is saying about that. As for the wheels, 13, it cried unto them in my hearing, O wheels, and everyone had four bases. Listen to that. The first base was the base of a cherub. That's the nose. That's where the one wheel is. That he brought you there. Then you know it's came down. He didn't say. And the second base was the base of a man. The man followed because he was a navigator, but the lion was going in at the door. All the time this vehicle was going out there, the lion, which was a devout military person, just went for the ride, learning how to operate space shuttle, sitting in that side of the pilot during every flight, because they know they're going to use it for military purpose on the last. And the third, the base of a lion, and the fourth, the base of an eagle. Same characteristics. And the cherubim were lifted up. This is the living creature, isn't it? This is the living creature that I saw by the river Chebar. And when the cherubim went, the wheels went by them. And when the cherubim lifted up, their wings too mounted up from the earth. And earth, the same wheels, also turned not from beside them. Letting you know the wheel was a part of the infrastructure of the space shuttle and the life of that vehicle, because it was a reusable runway aircraft, spacecraft, and it depended on the wheels to land. The life of that space shuttle depended on the function of the wheel. When these stood, listen to this, and when they were lifted up, they lifted up themselves also to the spirit, also, for the spirit of the living creature was in them. Then the glory of the Lord departed from the threshold of the house and stood over the cherubim beams. And the cherubim lifted up their wings and mounted spatial from the earth in my sight, When they went out, the wheels also was beside them, and everyone stood at the door of the east gate. All of them was in the land of Abraham, of the Lord house. And the glory of God of Israel was over them above. This is the living creature that I saw under the God of Israel by the river Sheba, and I knew that they were the cherubim. Every one had 4 bases apiece, and one for wings, and the likeness of the hand of a man was under their will, and the likeness of their faces was the face which I saw by the river Sheba that appeared and then and that appears, and themselves they went every one straight by. He's letting you know that this spaceship was the same vehicle that he saw in Ezekiel chapter 1, Ezekiel chapter 2. This here was after the knocking down the Trade Center building. God had been allowed to come over here and knock down the Trade Center building to call them the Armageddon in Ezekiel chapter 9. Now, let's go to Revelation chapter 4, the final stage of this. Revelation chapter 4, final stage. If I can make it, Lord, please. Because I have to try to get this out, because the time is an essence. This is the same space shell that Jesus spoke of in Revelation, because the book, God gave Jesus the book. The Revelations is the word of Jesus Christ given to him by God. Verse 4, Revelation. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven. And the first voice which I heard was as it were a trumpet talking to me, which said, Come up higher, and I will show thee things which must be hereafter. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne, and he that sat was to look upon like a jasper and a solid stone. And there was a rainbow round about the throne, and the likeness unto an emerald. He telling you the characteristic of the throne where you sat. In all stages, he spoke concerning the characteristic of the throne. Then you know this was the same prophecy. And round about the throne 24 seats, and upon the seats I saw 24 elders sitting clothed in white raiment. Okay, don't keep up any noise, okay? I'm about to get through with this, okay? And they, turn the fire out in there, please. And they had on their heads crowns of gold. And out of the throne proceeded lightning and thundering and voices. And there were 7 lamps of fire burning before the throne, which are the 7 spirits of God. Verse 6, Revelation chapter 4. And before the throne there was a sea of glass like unto crystal, and in the midst of the throne, round about the throne, were 4 beasts full of eyes before and behind. And the first beast was like a lion. The lion is driving a space shell this time. The lion is the pale horse of Revelation. The pilot is no. That means the space station was now completed. Before December 2009, about a week before December, the space shuttle made another flight up there, and they took and put another part on that space station. Once they had placed that part on the space station, he came back here, and Barack Obama sending 30,000 troops over there in Afghanistan. Before building this part, the Lion took the space shuttle up the next time. And it'd be the Lion, not the pilot, but military personnel will take this space up there on this bound board up there to make war on the saints. And this time, when he goes over there, God's going to cause something to happen that he's going to try to empty this earth. And he's going to use weapons of mass destruction, having nuclear capabilities he will use, because it's part of Bible prophecy. The United States will use nuclear weapons. They will try to exterminate everybody on the face of this earth of color, because it's a race thing.